Hi there, Maddie here, Maddie Rogers Photography. I'm going to show you how, as a beginner, you should be calibrating your computer screen. So it could be a desktop or a laptop, but let's go with my desktop for today. You need to calibrate, quite simply, this is for you beginners, so that when you've edited an image on your computer screen and you pass that file onto your client, or for them to print, or if you're then going to pass your file onto a processing lab to create wall art or paper prints in any kind of format for your clients, you know that what you created on the screen is going to come out exactly as you want. Because the last thing you want to do is to create an image on your screen and then your printed products don't match. They come out completely different. So the way we do that is we calibrate. And there are a number of ways you can do it using devices. This is the one that I use. This is the SPYDER X Pro. There are others available, but this is the one I use. Comes in a clever little device. And what you do is you buy the device, and when you buy the device, there are instructions on how to download the software, the driver if you like, and install that on your computer. And what it does is it then sits in your bar across the top, always there, ready for you to use. Now I've got mine set to remind me to recalibrate every 3 months, okay? But depending on your screen and how often it changes and what you feel is appropriate for what you're doing, you can adjust that in the settings. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how I do it. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to open SPYDER X Pro. There we go. Wait for it to open. And you'll get this screen come up. And what this screen will do is it will show you how to make sure that you're ready to calibrate. Now I've only just recently done this, so I'm not entirely sure how much of a difference it's going to make. However, I will show you nonetheless. So we have here, it hints here on how to make sure that you get the best results. Make sure your screen is warmed up. So don't just switch it on and then calibrate, because it'll take time to warm up and get to the optimum screen usage level that you want. So lighting conditions. Now I have got my ceiling lights on here, but I have a window that's over there, and the ideal situation for when you're editing is to make sure that you always edit in the same place, but any lighting is behind you, it's over there. You don't want light falling onto your screen. You don't want to edit here with a window here, for example, especially a window actually, because the sun will go out and then go back in behind the clouds and your lighting will change. And as that happens, it will mess up what you're seeing on your screen, more than you would realise actually. So also it's worth noting that what happens with these is that they quite often have auto brightness set. So you want to switch that off so that the computer is not controlling the brightness of the screen. The first time you use this, it will prompt you to set the brightness on your screen. I can do it on this on my keyboard, but depending on what device you're using, you might need to go into the settings. So do have a look that you know how to do that before you start using this. And that will change depending on the computer using and this lighting situation that you're in at the time. So set your computer up in this situation that you know you're going to be doing all your editing in. Make sure you're familiar with where your brightness controls are, your screen brightness controls, and then crack on and do your first calibration. And follow these here, the instructions here, really easy to do. And then all you have to do is click Next. Now we have a wide LED here. If you're not sure what yours is, this will help you to make that decision onto what screen you're using. Okay, and I'm going to do a full calibration just so that I can show you how to do it. Okay, which is what you really want to be doing. You see here it says brightness do not adjust, so that's telling me don't touch my brightness. Okay, but like I say, yours will be fine. So you do a full calibration the first time you use the device, and you click Next. Now this is the useful bit. This panel here can be dragged around. So what you're going to do, this is plugged in, it's all installed. Simply separate it and you pop it over your monitor like so. And it, like I say, it will adjust. If it won't reach because you have a large device, like I say, you can make sure that that is there. What I would suggest you do as well is, if you can, just tip your screen so that it sits flush, okay? And then you click next and you simply watch it do its magic. Okay, now this is going to go through lots and lots of different colours and tones, and it's reading the screen and making sure they're set correctly for each colour, and I don't have to do anything. At some point you will probably get something that comes up under here that tells you about your screen brightness and to please change it. I won't do because I've already set mine, as I said. And once you've done it, remember, don't switch off auto, make sure you switch off auto brightness, and then every time you calibrate you shouldn't need to do it again. So you don't want any brightness going on. You set your lighting in the room the way it's always going to be when you're editing your client's images. And we just wait for this to do its thing. Should be nice and quick. Like I say, I'm not expecting it to make any difference today because I've not long done it, but I will show you anyway. So this is something you can do. Like I say, I do mine every 3 months, and it's not a chore because it will remind you, and it only takes 5 minutes to do. Nice and simple. And hopefully we'll have no issues. It's always wise as well to make sure that your computer equipment is nice and up to date, because then you know that your calibration is going to work effectively. So make sure you've got a nice modern, up to date. There we go, finish. There we go, okay. So I can now remove this. Make sure you pop it back in its little holder to keep the lens nice and clean. There we go, and that will just sit there quite happily, measuring my ambient lighting. So you could name it here, you could name this new calibration as the month that you've done it, for example. You click save, it's done that, and then click next. And it's going to bring up this panel here, and this has got some sample images on it, okay, which when you are looking at the calibrated view, which is what we have here, it will give you the opportunity to switch back to your previous screen calibration. So whatever it was before you actually used the calibrating device, which is it. There is a slight difference there. So that is what it was. I don't know if you can see, that's what it is. Now for me that has changed it a tiny bit. If you've never calibrated your machine and you do it for the first time, I would expect it to be actually quite a strong change, and it might take you a little bit of time to get used to doing that, your work with that new calibration. But assuming you have up-to-date equipment, okay, assuming that you are calibrating in a good low light without any direct light falling on your screen, you will get used to that new calibration and how your screen looks. If you're unsure, the best thing to do is to order some test prints. And what you can do here is you can open custom here, and you can, if you want to, bring in one of your own images there, like I've done. That's the calibrated view. That's the non-calibrated view. So that's what it was before, that's what it is now. Okay, so if it's a massive change, order some test prints, and you can of course make some slight adjustments if you want to, but the idea is that you trust your calibration if everything's up to date, and then your eyes will tune into it without any problems. And now what you will find is that when you're creating your images on your computer, you print them, they should come back and match, because the last thing you want to do is hand a digital file to a client. They go off and get it printed and it looks nothing like what they expected and what you created. Okay, so nice and simple process. You can click next and save it, and you're ready to rock and roll. Right, good. Well, I hope that's been useful. Bye, see you next time.